Latin from scratch, 14th class, the adverbials of place. This is a quite important class because this thing that we are about to see is used quite often in text. We are going to see how to express direction, like going like this, the origin coming like this, or like going through something, like through the window, through the door, or I am here, not moving. So we see that we have actually 4 types of adverbials of place, and each of them uses different prepositions, different cases, etc. So that's all we have to learn here. There are 4 types of adverbials of place: to, from, through, and in. And actually, we are going to be calling them like this, okay? Because, for example, you can see here that there is this direction, origin, separation. Here there is nothing really because I couldn't really find any word. Even in Spanish, I don't know any specific word for this, like place, through, or location. And then here you see quo, unde, qua, ubi, which are the adverbs which are used in Latin for this. No? So, for example, if I say, like in the book or the movie, no, quo vadis is like, where are you going to? This quo translates as where to, or unde is like where from, qua through what. However you say that in English, really, I don't really know. And then ubi, like where are you? Okay, so these are the adverbs that you would use in Latin, but this is not, of course, this is not the most intuitive thing. Then this is like not so useful because, for example, there's nothing here. So we are going to be calling them place to, place from, place through, and place in. As I said, each of them has its own cases and prepositions. Of course, we are not going to learn absolutely all of the details because there are many details to learn. We don't need them right away, okay? But what appears most of the times, that's what we are about to learn. These details have to be understood and learned by heart, okay? What we are going to see in this class, yes, you have to understand and learn by heart, okay? So first thing, place to, direction, quo, whatever. Adverbials of place to are expressed in the accusative case, okay? So direction in the accusative case, most of the times with prepositions, but sometimes without preposition, okay? So without preposition, and now this is like kind of a funny list that is going to be appearing all the time, no? So, cities, small islands, and the words domus domi, which means house, home, then humus umi, ground, earth, and rus, ruris, land, state. So, this funny list is accusative without preposition. So, cities, small islands, and these 3 words. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know that an island is small? Oh, well, you really don't know, okay? But Romans did know, and they were applying these rules, which, again, like they are kind of funny, whatever. Now, with prepositions, this is what happens 99% of the times, okay? So with prepositions, which usually are in and ad, and that's all the rest. That is, everything which is not in this funny list, okay? Now, a small note on the difference between in and ad. The difference between the 2 prepositions is that in indicates that you enter the place, whereas ad expresses movement towards something, direction towards something or someone, but without making it explicit whether you enter or not. Either because you just don't make it explicit, or because you cannot enter a person. No, if you are using this with a person, we are going to see it now with examples. So, for example, if I say eo in castra, that means I go to the camp. I go and enter the camp. Okay. Then I can also say eo ad castra. I just say I go toward the camp, but I'm not making it explicit that I'm entering the camp. I'm just saying that I go to the direction, in the direction of the camp. Then I can also use this with people, which actually happens quite often. Okay, so for example, if I say eo ad Caesarem, like it would be I go to Caesar, or I go to the presence of Caesar. Of course, you cannot enter Caesar, so you just approach Caesar to be in his presence. Then, place from. Adverbials of place from are expressed in the ablative case. Okay, so we were using accusative first, now ablative case. Without prepositions, again, this funny list, cities, small islands, and the words domus, humus, rus. And then with preposition, usually these three, all the rest of words, okay? And now these three prepositions, they are super common, okay? So we have to learn them, and as you can see, there is this preposition which has two variants, so e or x, depending on the next sound, the next word. Then a or ab, and then de. There is no variance of de. It's always de. Now, there is no urgent difference between ex and ab. What I mean by this is that they don't mean super different things. That you don't have to worry about if there is any difference of meaning in these two prepositions, while de indicates a movement from top to bottom. So for example, if you are saying like something is falling from the sky, so then you would use de because it's from top to bottom. And of course, be super careful. Please note the difference between ad, direction, and ab, origin. Okay, it's not the same. Ad with d is direction, ab with b is origin. So be careful not to mistake these two. Then we have the placed through, which I would say is the least common of all of these four types. And this placed through can be expressed either in the ablative case or in the accusative. But in the ablative, we have ablative without preposition, and then we have accusative with the preposition per. So ablative without or accusative with per. And now we are not going to use the funny list. Okay, so here there is no funny list. So what's the difference? Ablative without preposition with nouns which refer to places intended to go through. So for example, a door, a bridge, and some other words. So for example, technically, according to this definition, if I go through a door is a thing which is made to go through it. And last, adverbials of place in, location, which can appear in several ways, as we see here, actually like in 3 ways. But most of the times it's just going to be this one. But we also have to explain the other 2 types. Okay, so the location can appear in the locative case, which we know from the class of the 6 cases plus the 7th case, which we said that is the locative case. But we can see that the locative case is not very common. It is only used in the singular nouns of the first and second declensions, also the third, it is borrowed, no matter. Names of cities, small islands, and the words domus, humus, rus. So again, we have the funny list. But again, for now, you don't have to worry about this locative thing. Then we have the ablative without preposition, which is used by cities and islands declined in the plural of the first and second declensions, and cities and islands of the third declension. So again, like you don't really have to worry so much about this and this. Actually, the one which is like 99% of the times used is this. Most of the times we just have in plus ablative. You need to be careful with the preposition in, because if you remember, in is also used in plus accusative for the direction, for the place to. So in plus accusative is direction, in plus ablative is location. So you have to be very careful with that. And that's it. You see that this class, because of course it looks like there is quite a lot of information, but if you pay attention to what I was saying, like, this is not so important, etc., then actually this is on you to make a summary of the class, and then you will see that the summary is super simple. Like we have 4 types of place, and you just have to say, okay, so the place to, this case with this preposition, place in this case with this preposition, etc. Okay, so just like a very brief summary, which is what's going to be appearing all the time. And now, of course, what we have to do is go back to the main module page and practice analyzing and translating to put all of this into practice.